can hear the cicadas. And I've come to a place called the Old Cement Works, just outside Warkworth, or as I call it, Brokenwood. It's where that programme is filmed, in part. Down by the river, there's an abandoned set of buildings. Quite dramatic. And here you get an image of what it would have looked like in its, I guess you'd call it the prime. There's still a boatyard here. Kids for generations have come here to swim. I don't know why, apart from the noise of someone cutting trees, I keep thinking of Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn. So I'm actually coming here mainly because it's peace and quiet, but also to think about, of all the books, the fiction books that I've read, and all the characters they introduce, which three would I love to come to life and meet and have a conversation with? They're not in any specific order or preference, and they have to be from fiction. So I'd love to meet Grace O'Malley, Gronja Niwalia, the pirate queen, but she's real. So who would I choose? Well, the first one, appropriate fun enough since I'm in a hole, would be Samwise Gamgee. He would be interesting for one specific reason. Not considered to be the main character, is he? But is he? I think it would be very interesting. It might be actually difficult to get a conversation going with. But I would definitely speak to him. That makes a very dramatic cameo. So Samwise, that would be the first one. No doubt he'd be there with his pipe weed and his beer, telling stories. He'd be interesting. My second choice would be from the island on which Prospero has enthralled all the natives, and it's Caliban. I have a long connection with Caliban, and when I was at school they put on a play of The Tempest, and a mate of mine played Caliban, and we had to go out to a river collecting all the mud to put on him. He looked fantastic. Really dramatic, in fact. Something I've never forgotten. More than 50 years ago now. And he would definitely be a character I'd love to talk to. Coming to New Zealand, I've learnt a lot about the colonial aspect of people's lives. Never knew that in the UK. And here, with the Maori, it's a real thing. And the undercurrent of The Tempest is the way in which Caliban and people on the island are treated by a superior, almost conquering force. So Caliban, not sure what I'd give him to eat. Fish or something, roots. Might leave a stain on the seat. But he'd be interesting to talk to. The third, who I would invite, is Don Quixote. Now he would be, I think, the gruffest, most difficult of all the three. He may be lucid, but then would probably go off at the slightest thing. And yeah, that would be very interesting. I'd obviously have to do some appropriate food for him. Not sure if they had tapas in the 17th century. This is an aside now. going around these buildings. It reminds me of like a dystopian Chernobyl type game you can play, Stalker. Now you wouldn't believe that 3 minutes walk that way is Warkworth. I seriously love the sound of cicadas. Wow. Yeah, so Don Quixote. Might have to restrain him occasionally, but be very careful what you say to him. But be careful where I'm walking now. It looks a bit wet down here. God, my feet are soaking. They're the three that I would invite. And of course it's going to change as I get further into the amount of videos I do and books I read. It will obviously change. New characters would supersede them. Now there's not one specific one that I would say I would love to talk to more than others. I think each would be variable, have a lot to talk about. But unlike the author, the dead author, Mia that I talked about earlier, these would be out off the page, so to speak, in their full glory of characters. And that's the thing with these three characters. They, or the authors, paint them to have really great personalities. Not so much Sam to begin with, but definitely really good characters to meet. I'm not going to go down there. It opens up to big, like, parkland. This is the Mahu River, and here you can just see the cement smokestack. It's this combination of man-made and nature, and how quickly nature takes over as soon as the man-made is abandoned. Fantastic. And in these later stages of summer, I'm recording in February 24, and February in New Zealand is the hottest month, and it's predicted to get every day up until probably the low 30s. But it's not as humid as it could be coming up to Christmas. So the cement works. So if you had to think of three characters that you would invite off the page to come and talk to you, have a picnic or whatever, meet in a bar, who would they be? This is not a tag. I'm not going to tag anyone, but if anyone would like to do something similar, I'd love to hear from you when you do it, if you do it. And I think I'll do this on a regular basis, probably once a year, or every 6 months or so, if I've got a new set of characters I could consider. An interesting one as well would be not the ones that you would invite, but who would be the ones you wouldn't invite. So, for instance, I wouldn't invite one of the ring wraiths. So there you go, a little stroll around the cement works. Hope you liked it. Ta-ta for now.